Woyala, and you can get a lot more of the videos of Woyala on YouTube. And we also have a channel there. We have thousands of videos on YouTube. Please go check them out and look for the name My Joy Online TV, and you get to know that we have a lot more of the videos there. We have Emmanuel Chamanting Ejakun. He's a member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon. Thanks for joining me. Good morning.
Hi.
You look very hot this morning.
Very
hot.
Yes, just when I was coming in, I got a call from a radio station in Kumasi. I am informed, I haven't seen, so it is hearsay.
Okay.
I hear that there is a newspaper, The Informer, that has said that I, Emmanuel Chematin Jakon, Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, has said somewhere that the Ministry for Water and Sanitation is a useless creation. I haven't seen it. It is hearsay. That is what the radio station told me.
But you never said that?
I am a Christian. The Bible says that I shouldn't swear, but on my honor, I haven't commented. To tell you the truth, I think it is one of the most novel.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Those talking about what is novel.
To relax his,
but it is good.
His vocal cords.
I think
because
that,
we seem to have a lot of commentary on how the ministries are overlapping in terms of their.
I think that God has heard my prayer. You know, after this election, I still have some bills to pay. Maybe I will go to court and get a very good big award.
Oh, but you don't have a problem. You have big ex gratia waiting for you.
Oh, really?
Adela is a party chairman. He doesn't have ex gratia. And Nia Dekoka is here. He's the chairman of NDC.
Thank you, my brother.
He doesn't have ex gratia. He just only worked for the grassroots and the party.
All the ex gratia is committed long before he even started.
Anyway,
so
I think rather the party will come and collect, and will continue collecting for the next 2 years.
God has heard my prayer. I will find a way to pay some of my outstanding bills.
Yeah, okay, we'll see how that goes. And thanks, gentlemen. Nia Dekoka, also chairman for NDC Greater Accra. And we also know the NDC had been in the news the last 24 hours. Somebody told me 5 days in opposition. And it's not easy with red bands around, bandanas around the head and all that. You were really in for it, but we'll talk about that as well. But leading the pack is, and I have to start with you, Chamanting Ejako. You have great teams. You've been announcing them in succession, 3 days running. You do that for the deputy ministers too?
Good morning to viewers.
Good morning to you too.
And to you, and to my very dear friend, Chama.
Today's date is 13. So he's 6 days in opposition. It's not easy. But it's all good for our democracy.
I think that something very interesting is happening in this country.
Really?
I do not recollect things that happened in the year I was born and subsequently, but I think that I have been, I saw a little about what happened in 1969. I was a little boy, just a primary school boy then. I saw what happened in 1979 and all. Never in the history of this country, never in the, has a president, never has a president called the press and justified why those ministries are and why his appointees best fit the bill.
But he has no choice because we've become a lot more
the president has asked
a
us
group
not
of
to be
people
spectators.
scrutinizing issues.
The president has asked us not to be spectators. We must be citizens. And I think that he is taking the lead to ensure that the citizenry, the reasonable man, my sister Yabedu, who
Rose Plantain. On the road to East Lagos.
Yeah, on Lagos Avenue, appreciates why there must be a ministry for water and sanitation. Why there must be a ministry for regional reorganization and the like. It is a bold attempt to demystify what government is and what the functions of the minister of a minister is. I am excited. I think that wonderful days are here for this country. The days when things were shouted and it was just announced on radio without explanations is over and done with. I think that a base has been set, and I am really looking.
But certainly, the president can keep on announcing every appointment. Suppose there's a reshuffle.
I don't think that. From where I sit, I don't have the capacity to determine whether he is going to be able to announce every change. It's not even important. But let's face it, ministers and his cabinet, it's crucial. It constitutes the leadership, the vanguard of whatever he wants to do. And I think that I will give him 100% for this. I think I am very, very, very satisfied with how it is going.
Your observation so far about the announcement, able men and women, announced by President Akufo-Addo.
Let me say good morning to yourself, my brother.
Good morning to you, sir.
And your esteemed viewers. Every Ghanaian is capable, and every Ghanaian is able to push this country forward. We started by pushing this country as far back as 1957, when we had independence. Ghanaians have come and gone. And for me, the people that have been brought there are Ghanaians. They have to come and show their mettle for us to judge them in the coming months and years. So the moment you start putting people on a certain pedestal that they are more human than others, you have a problem on your hands. Then you are forced to look at them individually and ask, have they been there before? And when they were there, what did they do? Okay, a lot of them have been there before. And you don't want to start going in to find out what they did when they were there before. So, granted, the president is giving rolling out his team. Let's allow him to roll out his team. And at the appropriate time, we are all going to look at the people that have been put there and the kind of work they are going to do. Because at the end of the day, they are all Ghanaians. We all sit in the same classrooms. We all sit in the same secondary schools. We know ourselves. Nobody is superhuman. We are all Ghanaians. So let's put it in that context. Now, another thing that is coming out of this is the numbers game. The numbers game and the portfolios that are being rolled out. I was listening to a governance expert last night on your station here. I was listening to a and he was apt that some of the portfolios, you are yet to understand what they are going to do. Because in previous government, we were talking about lean government. And I remember that on the campaign trail, our brothers said that they are going to ensure that we have a lean government. Here we are, that now we are in a situation where it's not a lean government. The first salvo that has been thrown has been bloated to about 36. And you remember the three wise men of NDC. When the three wise men were given that position, everybody knew that it was a throw-over of the fact that they should be potential ministers. And the fact that they couldn't get a place for them, they were given an assignment and said that they are going to be in charge of special projects and that kind of thing. And they didn't get it because the substantive ministers started arguing with them and fighting them, because if I'm Minister of Transport and then somebody has been appointed Minister for Special Projects, and I'm the Minister of Transport and I'm going to do a certain project, immediately there's a conflict. Who is in charge? Became the order of the day that it fizzled out quietly, even though they were still on government payroll. You understand? So here we are, the same thing is happening, where desktop ministers have been created.
What?
Desktop.
Meaning what?
Because if you're a minister of evaluation and whatever it is, that's a desktop job. But that's what they say. I'm going to work in the presidency. No more. People thought they were going to have a whole ministry.
Now they're just ministers of state.
Of state, that's a desktop.
In charge of.
Exactly, it's a desktop ministry. You just sit in the minister's office and then what?
So your point is what? They're not going to do the job at all? Or they will not be given the room to operate?
These are jobs that are office jobs. Let me tell you something. Akufo-Addo was in charge of evaluation of projects. And it was later on given to Dr. Barry Sawyer to do the same job. You understand? Now, you come to the Ministry of Railways. It used to be under the Ministry of Transport.
We'll have aviation too.
We have aviation to the Ministry of Transport. Now, under the Ministry of Transport, under one minister and one deputy minister under the NDC, right? The Ministry of Transport was able to chalk a lot of high-level development. The railways from Sekendi was constructed, revamped and constructed. A new airport terminal is coming up. There was a lot of expansion in the ports and harbor. That's Takoradi and Tema, right? You come to the Ministry of Aviation, as I said earlier on. A lot of success was chalked in without having the specific ministry for it.
So you're saying they are necessary?
I'm not saying they are necessary.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that in this country, we should be very circumspect. The sense that when you are in opposition, and I'm also cautioning my brothers and sisters, the opposition, that when you make statements, you must be very careful that in future it doesn't come to haunt us. Because here we are, we said we are going to have a lean government. And here we are not having a lean government, we're having a bloated government, and then we are giving jobs to the boys. We are accused of giving jobs to the boys, and nothing else. That's why I started by saying that Ghana, from Kwame Nkrumah up to now, is still Ghana. It hasn't changed its name to anything but Ghana.
Is it much ado about nothing, or just hue and cry from an opposition that perhaps is still
reeling from
yes, a recent loss? You know, 6 days in opposition is not an easy. It's not an easy feeling.
It's very easy, my brother. Relax.
6 days. Just on the 7th there was inauguration. After that, 6 days is not. Is that an opposition that perhaps also want to punch holes too early, put the cart before the horse, so to speak?
Very well. I think we are speaking with specific reference to the ministerial appointments. Is that right?
Yes. And let me just shape the thing, because some of them, for example, we have Trade and Industry Ministry, Ministry for Planning, or a minister in charge of planning, one for the business development, one for Zongo development, fisheries development, special development initiative.
Fisheries and aquaculture, it's not fisheries development.
Now, for example, if somebody wants to set up a fishing processing plant, where do we go? We have industry, and a processing plant is an industry. You have one for planning. So where do you go? Business development is a business development activity.
Let me state this, and anybody that does business knows that if you want to set up a pharmaceutical production plant, you would have to go to various ministries, departments, and agencies. You would have to go to. So, respectfully, Roland, this is your question. I beg. I am not intending to be disrespectful to you at all. I think that from time immemorial, and in fact, it is not something that only happens in this country. The little I know in various jurisdictions, when you want to do something, you probably would need to crisscross government agencies. But let us be a little bit more specific. I think the challenge that most people have relates to the 6 ministers of state that His Excellency the President stated very clearly that they were going to reside in the presidency. Let us take, for instance, Minister for planning. I think that was the first one that was mentioned. In a lot of in this country, we used to have a Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. In the wisdom of the governance aspects, they decided that they will hive off economic planning function from the finance function. Indeed, as far back as 2000, Papa Kwesi, 2001 or 2002, Papa Kwesi Indom was appointed Minister for Economic Planning by President Akufo. So, is that a big deal? Indeed, indeed. I know of many jurisdictions. In India, one of the most powerful ministers is called the Minister in charge of the State Planning Commission. Our equivalent may be the National Development Planning Commission. India moved from where they are today to where they are today because of the work they did at the State Planning Commission. At that time, it was headed by a gentleman who eventually became Prime Minister, Mohammed Singh, this gentleman that tied his head, the Sikh. I am happy that we are putting emphasis and focus. The NDPC talks about a 40-year development plan.
That's
good,
in the
bad.
previous government.
Yeah, well, I don't even want. I want to believe that NDPC is a creation of the Constitution. Okay.
It is.
So it really doesn't matter. It is, for me, I take it as a continuum. We will come back and refine it, whether it should be 40 years or it should be 20 years. But they will tell you that anybody who fails to plan is planning to fail. I am all for a situation where we will plan what we need to do and stop this ad hocism.
And that's what Nana wants to solve.
And I think that is what he wants to do. So there is nothing wrong about having a minister in some countries, particularly in the Francophones, they call them Minister for the Plan. There is a plan. We must have a plan and stop ad hocism. Number two, I am just trying to see you. My very good friend and neighbor, the Minister for
Zongo.
For inner city and Zongo development. You see,
it's rather Zongo and
it
Zongo
is inner
development
city and Zongo development.
What does it mean?
Do we have challenges with inner cities?
Where inner city means?
Oh, in this town, in Accra,
yeah,
there are a lot of
pockets of
undeveloped in the middle of the town. Okay,
and we need a minister for that.
And you must make a choice. I have heard people say, "Oh, I heard one person said, oh, but you could have left this for a presidential staffer to do it." I think that it is a choice a president must make. And I am happy, you know, for me, make a decision. It might be wrong, it might be right. Machiavelli, the prince, said that the end will justify the means. Look, in my political tradition, it suits our political opponents to tell the people of Zongo that we are against them. It suits our political opponents to tell them that we are not for them. And in our campaign, our flag bearer, now the President of the Republic, was unequivocal that when I come, I will change the face of the Zongos. I will change what the Zongo is perceived to be. After all, there is a certain historical development. It is not, it is, all of us know how the Zongos came about. 120 years after Zongos came, has there been a shift? Has there been a change of view? I think that when His Excellency the President does this, for me, two effects. One, purely political, but who says that we are doing Salvation Army work here? Who says that the MPP is Salvation Army? We are not Salvation Army. We are a political party. God has graced us with political power. We need to change some of the things that our political opponents have always used against us. I am excited that there is a minister, a proper son of Zongo, whose navel is buried there and clearly understands the issue.
So for you,
and there are inner city, this in our town. I am not here to mention places. Even in my constituency, we have challenge. We have a huge challenge with what you call inner city. And it's a worldwide phenomenon. If you go to the UK, there's a minister who is responsible for inner city challenges. So what is the problem? I think that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has a mandate of the people for the next 4 years. He made promises to the people, and he is putting in a structure. I am a chemist. In chemistry, they will tell you there is something called structure-activity relationship, and they will tell you that activity resides in a structure. I believe that the president is forming a structure that will relate into a certain activity. I am excited about it.
I see. Now, we know we have to just call it a morning on this conversation, but the next one is about the press conference you convened. That's the NDC, addressed by the chairman of the party, and it's about attacks on your supporters and people perceived to have been aligned to you, and then subsequently the seizure of state facilities by MPP supporters. Can you expatiate on that?
Yeah, you know, we've come a long way since we started this democracy. In 2001, we had a situation where a government that took place gave the impression that a coup has taken place. And people like E.T. Mensah, the vice president and the flag bearer at that time's wife, house was invaded looking for vehicles. President Rawlings' house was invaded looking for vehicles. On and on and on and on. So come 2008, people in the NDC thought they also have to behave the way that MPP behaved in 2001. President Mills at that time forcibly came out and made a statement that no, his government is father for all, every Ghanaian.
That was in 2009.
Exactly, made that statement. And he went to the extent of saying that people who are currently in government positions must remain there until the proper things are done. So down the line, 2012, 2013, 2014, my brothers in Parliament is that they're going to give us a transitional law that will enable government that is changing over to another government will operate. And I thought that is where we have all reached. Unfortunately, what transpired in 2001, what transpired in 2008 has again brought its ugly head again to the system. And it started the moment the MPP won power. And the president then spoke about it. The president now also made a statement about it. Still, we are where we are square one. And it is going to a state that now our party properties are even been attacked. Comfort-Doyle, Honorable Comfort-Doyle, Nilante Vanderpool, and then the Ayawaso Central NDC party vehicles were seized. And I was called upon, and we had to, and apart from that, members who are working in state institutions who are perceived to be NDC people have been asked to vacate their positions, and some people taking over.
Are they truly NDC members?
Well, that is perceived. You have asked a question. That is perceived.
Did they get the position because...
Well, because that's the perception. That because they are there, they are NDC people who are there. So the toll booths, which have been privatized, most of the toll booths have been privatized and are being run by private companies.
Aligned to NDC? Or?
No.
Okay.
They went
Just
for tender.
Private
private company who
went through
for
tender process.
And they won. I mean, I don't want to start mentioning names where I know their political coloring. You understand? The passport office.
That's a purely civil service.
Is it NDC people who are working at passport office?
They are members of the foreign affairs. They work with the
that's right. So it's not NDC. When you go to the Port and Harbour, the Port Harbour is an institution by itself who does their own employment. So this is where we are now, and 4 of our members have lost their life since this election. Understand? For why? Why should we get to that stage? What is bad yesterday is bad today. And nobody should say because it happened in 2001, it happened in 2008, so there's justification for it happening in 2016. We should condemn it.
Okay. So what happened in 2009 was a justification for what happened in 2001?
I'm just telling you. That's
no,
what.
I'm asking.
That's exactly.
I'm asking.
Yeah, you cannot run away.
So it cancels out. So now we should have been starting on a fresh note.
It's not that it cancels out. No, it's not equalization here.
No.
No, we don't want to go that way. It's not equalization. I'm saying that something happened in 2001 was bad, something happened in 2008, 9 was bad, and if it's happening today, it's bad. But at the end of the day, you don't know where you are going to be, and the people will misconstrue that you are such and such a person, and you've been harm's way. At the end of the day, we are all Ghanaians. My brother here decides to want to go to Rome, and he chooses to fly Alitalia. I too, I want to go to Rome, and I choose to go by Emirates. At the end of the day, where are we going to arrive at? Rome. Understand? So if they've come to power and they feel that this is the philosophy that they want to pursue, they should do it, but it should also be in the position to rein in people who are just going beyond bounds and doing things that will not enjoy the benefit of all of us. Because I quite remember in Rwanda, somebody said, kill the cockroaches. Cockroaches are not human beings. But at the end of the day, cockroaches became human beings. Because if there's a smoke and you don't call the smoke, it becomes a fire. So it's very important that we shouldn't just hide behind semantics and be able, oh, it's not NDC people who are doing it, it's not people who are doing it, but these are human beings who are doing it. And they are perceived to be coming from a certain stock. So we expect the leadership. Law and order is there, police are there, but the leadership should come out and make a statement and nip this, just as Professor Mills did when NDC people decided.
Mr. Jacko, it clearly shows so far that the leadership of government has just not been able to make a bold statement on this and call on supporters of, and even the party leadership, say, don't do this and don't do that.
I will take it from where you have just ended. I don't think
that's the situation.
I don't think that's the situation. I think that the General Secretary of the party, and I've also heard the National Youth Organizer speak in very clear terms to the issues. Very, very, very clear terms. This is I think that this is a very unfortunate incident that must be condemned by all and sundry. I think it betrays our lack of understanding of what the Republic is. But you see, all of us have perpetrated it. We have, I mean, all of us as politicians have fed and nurtured this kind of behavior.
But this says that we should call a spade and let it.
Yeah, so I think that all of us, I don't want to do a blame game here. First and foremost, let me be unequivocal. I think what is happening is wrong. I think what is happening is condemnable, and we must, like the leaders in Parliament said, the police must move in and stop this. For want of, I'm on.
This brutal.
I must.
Because some of the attacks are very brutal.
I must be very careful about the words I use, but this initially, I mean, what are we talking about? Who said that a public institution belongs to a political party? I think all of us as politicians, and all of us, when we are in power, we feed are so quote-unquote foot soldiers with this kind of thing. Okay. But again, having said this, we must begin to do things differently. You think that we are all Ghanaians, we all live in the same communities. Huh? We all live in East Legon or we all live in West Legon. And we know who is NDC and we know who is MPP. And when you go to the state security apparatus, we know all the people who are doing the work there. We know them. We grew up with them. We live with them.
So your point is?
So my point is that,
you know that
all of a sudden when 2009 came, I used to have a state security operative come to my house every day.
Because you were?
Because of the position I held.
At the time?
At the time. By end of January, he came one day and said, Chief, I've been asked to go home. You are on your own.
Was he a police or?
He was a retired soldier.
He was a retired soldier.
He was a retired soldier.
He was working with National Security?
Yes.
Okay. He was perceived to have been aligned because he works for, he's been assigned to you.
I will not, I think he was aligned. I mean, let's not play games here. He was aligned.
Okay.
Former ex-soldier.
Wait, you are saying he was assigned to you maybe because he was aligned?
No. He worked in the state security, national security office.
Yes.
A few things that happened in my course of duty. I didn't bother. Like today, I don't bother about. I see people have security. I don't. God takes care of me. I go out and come back. I don't. But I was called and I was said that we are assigning, because of some incidents that had happened in my course of duty, I was told that we will assign somebody to be in your house. And they even wanted to give me somebody in my car. I said, no, this will be an intrusion on my privacy. I didn't like it. But somebody can come to the house in the night. Armed person. He was asked to go home. When he was asked to go home, a new batch of people were taken. And this is the point I am making. All of us, the people that were taking, all of us know their political affiliation.
So you're saying there was a clear out?
There was a clear out.
Fresh intake.
And a fresh intake.
So now there's going to be a clear out.
You know,
fresh
if
intake.
we continue to do this.
I'm asking, is it going, are we going to
I am not in a position to say, but I am saying that if when MPP comes, we clear out all the NDC people and bring MPP people, probably it stands to reason. Now, when NDC is here, they will clear out all the MPP people and bring their people. So today, MPP is in. As for us, we should put our hands between our thighs and look.
Nobody is saying that. But let us do it the legal way.
I am saying, I am even going back to say that we must find a better way to do these things. I think we must stop the politicization of some of these things.
By what?
National security operatives. We must not do it like when MPP is in power, all the national security operatives must be MPP people. And then when NDC comes to power, then we must find a good way of employing Ghanaians who are competent, who are fit, who meet the bill to be national security operatives. NADMO, who doesn't know? Who doesn't know that anybody in NADMO currently, if you are not a high up in NDC, you will not get placement.
So there'll be clear out there.
Who doesn't know?
I'm asking. Would
I don't speak for the executive.
But
I am a very. But I am stating the matter
facts.
of facts.
I understand what you're saying. I empathize with what you are saying.
The chairman
but
of
I'm
the
saying
party.
So there will be clout and.
The chairman of the party used to be the boss of NADMO.
Would there be?
Anita D'Souza used to be the deputy
would
coordinator.
Would there be clear out?
Everybody of importance there. All of us know. Let's not kid ourselves. There is a problem. I think as a nation we must begin to find a solution.
An antidote.
I can completely agree that when a government comes in, there are some positions that government must have as of right to change. And it happens in every jurisdiction. I remember the day I got a letter. As for this proceed on leave, all of us have suffered it. The day I got a letter, signed by my good friend.
But you were expecting it?
I was expecting it.
Okay. And I know the position because within that period, I used to talk to you very
often. The point I'm making is that The day I got a letter to proceed on leave, that same day, President Obama was appointing another person to be commissioner of FDA in America.
Which is normal.
Normal.
Okay.
You see, I'm saying that
We don't have the time.
I perfectly agree
1 minute.
with my brother here. What we are saying is that there's a that is why we've got the transitional law.
But when you came, you also did this. You did clear.
I'm there. You see, you are going back again.
No.
I said, what happened in 2009 was bad. What happened in 2001 was bad. And I thought we are making progress.
So
that is why we have the transitional law that we are now open. Without the transitional law, I'm sure would have been more chaotic than it is today. So if they have to clear out, nobody is saying it shouldn't clear because they want to work with people that they think they can work with. But let us do it the right way. Let us use the law.
Just
so that
Ni
if something
Adekoka,
bad is happening, they should condemn
chairman
it,
of NDC,
as he has done.
Greater Accra.
Let me state this.
Emmanuel Tremantinge Jakon is a member of parliament for Ewaso West Wagon. Don't state.
Let's
Okay. We're doing a wrap-up of entertainment.
There will always be a fringe element in everything we do.
We're doing a wrap-up of entertainment for
let's
the
rein
week.
them in.
So please just watch.
We have asked the police to deal with this.
Guy I love, but I just can't stand his weight. But Wiz Khalifa there, featuring Charlie Puth for the soundtrack of the movie.
Fast and Furious, but this was in memory of
Paul Walker.
who died.
Fast and
Very
Furious
handsome,
7. Now we have 8
talented
in the
actor.
running.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious 8. All right, so
Sounds like a soundtrack to say goodbye for the entire week.
Yep.
Here on the AM show as well. My name is Mama Biosabane.
and mine is Roland Walker. We hope that you've enjoyed all the episodes for the week, and you will also be preparing yourself for the weekend because remember, Monday is a working day. Bye-bye.
Thanks to the entire team, the people who do all the background work that you don't see. Enjoy the weekend and make a date with us on Monday. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. Be blessed.
Good morning.